wherein the same topic was discussed. And they discussed that double butterfly under certain circumstances or under certain design setups is better than condor. To be specifically, one variation of double butterfly that is called Batman. So Batman's strategy is somewhat better than condors under certain design conditions. But I have a different perspective on that, and that is exactly what we are going to discuss here today. Once you see that, how my perspective is different from that, you will understand why you should not just go to any website or go to any channel and start learning from there. You must always look into the credentials of the website or the YouTube channel from which you are gaining knowledge. It is extremely important before you learn something incorrect or draw some incorrect conclusions from such viewing. Let's go. So first let's start what is the butterfly. As all of us know, most of us know, butterfly is about shorting two options at one strike and then hedging the upside and the downside, right? So here we have taken two butterflies. So let me just show you exactly that. So this is one of our butterfly and this is our other butterfly. Now, when we designed this setup, Nifty was on 14,146 on 6th. Since there are two butterflies, so I wanted to keep one butterfly, and this is by design, double butterfly, this is how it is designed. One butterfly will be below the current price and one butterfly would be above the current price. So in general, butterflies are supposed to be neutral, but you can also make them bullish and bearish by changing the strike where you short to create a butterfly. So we have shorted 150 points below and 150 points above. So 14,146. So we've shorted 14,000 and we have shorted 14,300. So to create a butterfly, you can either use only calls or only puts, or you can use a combination of calls and puts. So this is called iron butterfly. So we have shorted one put and one call at 14,000, and then to hedge the downside risk, we have bought 13,900 put, and to hedge the upside risk, we have bought the 14,100 call. So this becomes our iron butterfly 1. And similarly, we have constructed the other iron butterfly. Then we have created a condor in such a manner that the comparison makes sense. So for that, we have simply shifted this -1 to here and this 1 to here. Similarly here, this -1 goes here and this one goes here. So now in both the setups, we have exactly 4 lots short and 4 lots bought. This is done so that the margin requirements remains the same and almost the same. Though double butterfly might have a little less margin requirements, but still my sense is they would be nearly the same. Okay, let's try to understand which one of them is better by seeing the payoff diagram. So here is the payoff diagram. The first thing that we need to notice is the axis. So in y-axis, if you notice, for double butterfly, it varies from -2,000 to 4,000, and in condors, it varies from -6,000 to 14,000. And the same size payoff we can see in either chart. So what does that mean? It has a very serious implication. Let's try to understand that. So if you look at let me explain a bit more. This purple line is just before expiry, maybe 1 hour before expiry. The expiry is on 28th of January. So this purple line represents the payoff just hours before expiry. The yellow line is payoff diagram just 1 day before expiry in either of the charts. And the other 3 lines represent maybe from 5 days from now, 8 days from now, 12 days from now, and so on. Okay. So for the purpose of comparison, we really need not know whether it is 8 days or 10 days from now. But yeah, I've divided it into equal parts. So this would be around 12 days apart. This this is maroon line. Okay. So let's now try to analyze. So first of all, we should decide the range under which we will do our analysis. So this seems a good area here, and let's take this area here. Fine. So this is here, this falls here. Similarly, if we go here, This is around 13,900. Yeah, more than that, 13,009, more than that, somewhere here, right? Yes. And third, 14,346, 13,046, something here. Fine. Let's look at the two comparison. Clearly, you see, Condor is way better than Double Butterfly. Why? Because look at this, just one day before expiry. Look at the yellow line and look at the yellow line here. Okay. Now, who wants to wait till expiry? Nobody wants to wait till expiry, because whenever you are trading sell side trades like butterflies and condors, at least you should exit 5 days or around 1 week before expiry. So if you look at the red line, then also you see maroon line is performing better in condor as against double butterfly, right? Now this has become quite messed up diagram, but I think the idea is very clear. The second thing to not to observe is the multiplier factor. While the peak is only 2850, the peak here is 11,100. Obviously, the risk is also proportionately more. It is minus 1,168, but here it is minus 3,754. So, a better comparison, you need to take the ratio. So, 2850 divided by 1168 versus 11,100 divided by 3,900. Okay. So in that case, also you will see they are nearly comparable, and somewhat my sense is Condor would still be better here than double butterfly. You need to do the actual division, but that really doesn't matter, because the most important point that I am going to raise now is, as we just discussed, both these strategies, both these setups have the same margin requirement, say 1.5 lakhs or maybe 1 lakhs. Now, if both have the same requirement, then this is certainly much better strategy in terms of return over investment. Because to get the same ratio, you will have to around 3 or 4 times you will have to multiply your number of lots. Getting my sense? Because 2008 it's a multiplier. It's 2850. It is maybe around 4 times higher. Similarly, loss on this side again 4 times higher, right? Or 3 times higher. So you have to get the same profile. At least you will do the multiplier on the profit side. So 2850 and 11,100. So, and with the same risk reward ratio, same almost same break even points, you will have to have lot many lots in double butterfly compared to condors, right? Almost 3 times or 4 times. So that really reduces your return over investment. Now let's go through the other slides, and then we will see these things in numbers, so that will make things more clear. So this is your volatility impact, which we are not discussing in this one, because these things we will take up when we talk about adjustments. Similarly, we will not discuss Greeks here, because Greeks again, yeah, we will take them for adjustments classes. Now, this is Bachmann versus Condor. So what if we design it in such a manner that this apparent difference in the performance of double butterfly with condor improves. So instead of taking regular butterflies, we could take broken butterflies. What is broken wing butterfly? The broken wing butterfly is that in which the hatching part have different strike gaps. So let me explain with example. In this case again, this was taken on 8th of January when the Nifty was at 14,347. Now this time I am using put butterflies and call butterflies. So again, I have created one butterfly centered around 14,000, the other centered around 14,700. Just I'm trying to improve the performance of double butterfly against condor. And this type of setup is somewhat called Batman. Okay, though this is not exactly Batman, because Batman as a strategy has certain conditions like delta of the sold option should be around 0.2. But yeah, it can be called a Batman because that's my choice. If I want to keep a higher delta, sort of higher delta, that's totally my choice. So, so we have shorted 14,000 two lots and then hedged with one lot on either side. And all things are done in put. Similarly, on the other side, we have shorted 14,700 call and then bought one call on the lower side and one call on the upper side, right? But the difference here is that look at this hedge side. On this side of the hedge, we are maintaining a gap of 200 points. And while on this side, we are maintaining a gap of only 100 points. Similarly here, we have maintained a gap of only 100 points, while here we have maintained a gap of 200 points. Why so? Because in this case, we think I have already maintained a lot of difference. The strike difference is, sold option at 14,000 and sold option 14,700. There's already a huge gap. So I'm not too much worried on the downside risk on either side. So I can shift my downward risk a little farther. Okay, that's what we have done to create two directional butterflies. Okay, we'll see that in the next example. What do we mean by directional butterflies? Similarly, very simple, for creating condor, we just need to shift this one to here and this one to here. Okay, so this is a condor created with the same profile and everything. Now let us look at the payoff diagram. Okay, this is again about Batman construction, how we constructed that. So just as I told you, there are two butterflies and they are directional butterflies, and when you combine these two, you get this kind of result. Okay, now again let us compare them. Break-even points around 13,947. I'm talking about these areas, and at expiry around here. Okay. Similarly, 14 here 14,747 and somewhat farther here, and 18,947 just like here, almost the same. And then here 49,47. Okay, somewhat down here. Okay, but again, if you look at the other stuff, look at this scale again. Minus 8,000 to 8,000, and this is from minus 25,000 to 15,000. Maximum peak profit is 5,400. It has got 12,600. Maximum loss is again minus 5,300, and this is got minus 1,700. Now, if you look at that, this is again around double twice, right? So basically, to get the same result, we need to have two sets of this to get the same effect of this. So you need to have two Batmans, two set of Batmans to be able to get the same profile as a condor, a single condor. So the margin requirement for condor will be half than that of a Batman. Even though the ratio has been improved, if you look at the maximum profit to risk, it is 1:1 here, but here it is almost like, the profit to risk is somewhat less than 1, and here it is almost 1:1. But then if you look at the total picture, the profit is much less in this area as compared to condor. So a Batman has very less profit in this area as compared to condor. But who talks about expiry? Let's talk about red line. Even if you look at the red line, the maximum profit on the red line is 1875 within our profitable zone, and while here it is significantly high. It is between 5,000 to 10,000, and here it is less than 10,000, 2,000, sorry. The purple line, sorry, the red line or the maroon line is between 0 to 2,000 here, and here it is between 0 to almost 8,000, you can say, right? And both the maroon lines in either of the payoff diagram represents the same number of days from today, right? For best comparison, we should always use numbers. So they will give an absolute clear picture. So this is at expiry. This is for 14 January, this is for 19 January, this is for 23rd January, and this is just before expiry. Similarly here, just before expiry, 14 January, 19 January, 23rd January, and 28th January. So look at this. Maximum profit is up to 39.47. Sorry, the profit range is up to 39.47 when you are green and 14.747 here. Similarly, 39.47 here for Condor and 14.747 here. So same range for green zone. For green zone, you have the same range, but this is one day before expiry. So best would be to compare on 23rd. Okay, if you compare on 23rd, okay, we see this profitable area and we see this profitable area. Clearly, very clearly you can see Iron Condor is superior. You look at any comparable figure here, Iron Condor is doing much better than right now. At expiry, obviously, Iron Condor is much better. Right? So ideally, you should be comparing around 23rd. That would be the best case to compare. And if you look beyond it, this one is little loss, lesser loss compared to this. But again, this is very wide range. It's a wide range of about 1000 points. That much risk is totally acceptable because there's very little probability of market moving up to that level, 13,947 or 13,747, right? Which is lesser probability, right? And it might just stay within this range as well. And anyhow, we can always adjust. Clear? So we can see here also, again, the same thing in numbers that Condors are performing better than Batman. Now, let us look at another Batman. We will try to shift this further down, the sold strikes further down and further up to create a better Batman. Something like 0.2 delta short Batman, wherein the short options are of 0.2 delta. So the put option at 13,900 would be around 0.2 delta and 14,800 call would be around 0.2 delta. Again for the same day, 14,347 on 8-1, right? So let's look at the payoff diagram again. As you can see, the red line, the maroon line is between 0 to 2000 and this one is again between 0 to 8000. Look at that, right? Even though the range has increased for Batman, no doubts, range has increased, but almost very little difference. Condor is competing it like anything. Let's look at the numbers again. Let's compare on 23rd January. There we go. And again, Condor performs better in the green zone, while it performed tad bad on just outside. Not tad bad, in fact, you can say significantly bad. But again, the key point to note is there's very little probability of market moving that much down. And with so much width already between the sold strikes, the adjustments would be fairly easy for Condors. Also, I am still not comparing the two in terms of returns. Condor is superior to Batman simply for the reason that to create this setup, you will need at least twice the Batman, because 5,500, 10,200, 5,000 negative, 19,000 negative. So we're comparing the profitable side because the break-even points are almost the same, right? So you double it, so it becomes 10,000 here and 10,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000 here. Now the two will be comparable. Okay, the profit, maximum profit would be comparable, but the maximum profit in case of Batman would be concentrated just here, right? While in case of Condor, the maximum profit would be concentrated over a very wide area and very little profit in between for Batman. Agreed? Now let's look at the payoff diagram again. This is what I tried to explain. Look at this, very little profit. Even if you double it up, it will be 1000, it will become 2600, it will become 3400. Still, it cannot compare with Condor here, right? Double it up to match, and it will take a higher margin as well, the Batman. Okay, so why do traders trade? What is the logic that people are using this Batman? What is the logic? The logic they give is that if we are expecting the price to finish at 2 points, either it will go to this point or it will go to that point, right? Like, let's go to the construction again. Like, they're expecting either it will be closing around 13,900 or it will be closing around 14,800. So Batman should be taken. But that really doesn't matter. Why? Because that effect, that peak effect, will come only on the last day. Even just one day before expiry, you see the curves are quite flattened. Look at the yellow line, it's quite flattened, right? So the peak effect comes very, very late on the last day, and you are not supposed to wait till the last day when you are dealing with strategies where you have sold options for primary income. You're not supposed to do that. The second logic these people give is that, let us suppose, okay, when you are placing a condor, you are expecting the price not to move. But when we are placing a Batman, we are expecting the price to move. So if our price moves in any one of the directions, one of the legs or one of the butterfly will become profitable, and the other will be at loss. So we can actually remove that one, and we can just hold on the profitable one. But that's again illogical. It's illogical because even if you gain in one butterfly, you will be losing on the other butterfly, right? What happens once you exit out of the losing butterfly, you will have just a very small peak performance area, right? And if the price reverts or moves further down, you are in a complete mess. It's very difficult to manage it then, right? The only advantage that Batman has over Condor is that for initial few days, it is more resilient to price swings. And that is very understandable because the hedge is more close to the current price. As you can see, the hedging part is more close to the current price. So obviously it is more resilient to recent price changes, like 1 or 2 days or 3 days. If some price changes happen or some good price changes happen, definitely Batman will not show you that much loss as much Condor will show. But as everybody knows that we are using Condors, or yeah, we are using option selling techniques to make money from options decay, and that requires you to patiently sit down for a few days when the options have actually decayed and the volatility might have come down and so on. So there's no point being worried about some MTM swings right in the beginning. We already have our tools and techniques of adjusting a condor. Also, since a condor effectively uses half the margin or even 1/3 the margin of a Batman, from the perspective that I just explained, we can always start with a few condors and then build on more condors, add on more condors when we are in a distressed situation, and then once we revert to our neutral position or when we start making some profit, we can take them back. So again, that's a very totally different manner of adjusting in terms of managing your quantities or managing your sets, that we'll discuss in a separate tutorial. But the point is simple, that whenever you are placing a condor or selling an options, you have to wait for certain days for the options to decay. So let it, so you don't really need to do something to stabilize your PLN or MTM. That no, there should not be too much variation. It doesn't matter for such a given wide range. It really doesn't matter. Secondly, double butterfly on Batman is like it's not a basic setup. It's not a basic textbook setup. So it's like you are placing an adjustment even before when something has happened. You place a simple butterfly and then you are placing another butterfly, as if you are trying to adjust without even anything happening. And adjustments are something precious. You don't have to you have to keep them minimal and you have to use them only when required. It's a precious resource. So you're effectively using that resource. You're trying to adjust something which is already not yet moving, or you just taken it. There has been no distress, there has been no movement, and you are trying to adjust it. So that doesn't make sense to me, right? Okay. Now let's look at some design thinking approach for advanced strategies. So simple bullet points are here. Learn and practice simple textbook strategies like spreads, condors, etc. first. Learn how to adjust them not only by way of rolling across strikes and time, but also through building up and winding down of the position sets. Second step, go to the textbook advanced strategies, that is calendars and double calendars. Almost all advanced strategies are built on calendars clubbed with basic textbook strategies like spreads, OTM or ITM calls, puts, buy, sells, etc. Learn to understand and analyze both these components of your advanced trade setup in isolation as well as in combination. Okay. Adjustments are simple for advanced strategies and few are required if at all. Always keep a tap on volatility. Adjustments depend on volatility for advanced strategies. Key to success would be how you play with your sets, building up and winding down, varying the size of your positions, both across the individual components as well as combination. Too much adjustment or fancy adjustments should be avoided. Remember, always keep all possibilities in mind while adjusting. If the underlying has fallen so as to hurt your position, there is always a chance that it may revert to hurt your adjustment. Technical analysis does help to increase ROI, but can be foregone for peace of mind. So this basically focuses on just 2 points. Number one, that you should be using trade setups in sets for adjustments. You have to build up your positions and bring down your position. And number two, for creating advanced strategies, you don't have to combine basic textbook setups that are focused on just one expiry. Mostly they are based on calendars combined with basic textbook single expiry strategies. Okay, that we will take up in some other video tutorial. So let me give you one example. Can you see this fanciful chart? Look at the range. The range is around, oh my god, it's around 12,500 or 12,400 something, and upper production is around 15,000 or 14,800 something. Such a huge range with a good profit here and minimal risk on the downside. Right? This has been constructed using calendars and some basic textbook strategies. Okay. Now, don't be really impressed with this one, because this is actually not the correct scenario. In actuality, this would be somewhat less. This will be somewhat more down. Why? Because the liquidity was very less when I put up this trade. Liquidity less, and you can have some fanciful outputs on your payoff diagram. But still, yeah, when the liquidity would be good, still we will have a very nice trade here, and I'll definitely show them to you, and we will discuss how to adjust them. So step by step, we will learn the nitty-gritties of options trading. I'll be creating two playlists, one for starting with the absolute beginning, like what are options, call options, put options, how to adjust them, then spreads and so on. And another playlist would be for advanced option strategies. And in fact, I'm also planning another third playlist where I'll be using machine learning and data science, time series analysis concepts for prediction modeling of stock markets. Stay tuned, and for me to continue making these videos for you guys, I definitely need a lot of subscription and a lot of followers, because there's no point putting me all my knowledge in the videos when I don't have subscription at all, right? Because it takes a lot of efforts to make such videos. So I hope I will receive a positive response from you guys, and your constructive feedbacks are always welcome. You can always put them down on the comment section. Thank you.